This is the Punters Guide. We've got some cracking races to look forward to this weekend. Doncaster, Newbury and Kelso, pretty much covering the length and breadth of the British Isles. Joel and Frankie alongside me as always. I think a theme as you try and build that betting bank for the festival just 10 days away, Joel, is quite competitive action this weekend.
Well, it is, isn't it? A lot of these horses, well, most of them won't be going to Cheltenham, will they? A couple of maybe to Aintree, and the rest of them, I think you look at Wolverhampton, you're going to flat run into them. I've looked around this weekend, tried to find a little bit of value, tried to look for some good things, and I don't think there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of opposable favourites at the weekend as well, I think, just to get those few quid in for Cheltenham, and then we get it on for the champion hurdle, and hopefully get 0.50% or whatever it is back on our dough.
Right. I'll talk about that in a minute. Frank, I know you've been to Kelso, and that's their major day, but I agree with Joel. I think there's plenty of opposable favourites.
Yeah, to be honest, before looking at the cards, I wasn't that excited, and my mind's, as everyone else, has been on Cheltenham, and I thought, is there really going to be that great racing to get stuck into this weekend? But after looking, there are some really competitive fields, and as both of you have said, a few prices maybe to go at. So it's actually a decent weekend's racing, and hopefully, as you said, build the betting bank. It's always nice to get a winner on the eve of Cheltenham.
It is, that's for sure. Look, we do the road to Cheltenham every Monday. I can't wait till Monday, though, because of the big news that broke this week. Frankie's in mourning. I'm surprised he's not dressed in a whole black morning suit. Joel, you called it weeks ago. The news, of course, broke on Tuesday about Constitution Hill. Joel, how smug do you feel? And Frankie, how gutted are you?
Right. Before we start being smug, everybody wants to see the best hurdler we've ever seen in our lifetime ever, even before horses were invented, running at the best festival in the world. And we want the welfare of the horse to be, number one priority. But again, it was never going to run. It was never, ever, 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 ever going to run. Right. And we're still stringing it out. Lunchtime Friday, we found that it's now got blood in his body. No, not like, some blood issues, blood in his body, half ton animal. He's, surprised if I cut myself, I've got some blood. So, I'm not smug because, the state man at 9-2, every time he,
I'm not smug, but
I'm not smug, but the little bugger's going to fall at the first. Right. So I'm not smug, but we just need El Fabiolo to come out now because I've got the each way double with John Bon.
Absolute filth. No, Frankie, obviously you were onto it quite early on with those guys, and on Tuesday, I mean, it is disappointing for the sport, isn't it? But like Joel was saying, there was kind of concerns. We'd only seen him once this season anyhow.
Yeah, I disagree that he was never going to run. And I disagree with
the guy that said Court Ramble will never, ever, 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 ever win a Grand National. So there's every chance he can still turn up.
Exactly. More chance, actually, now Joel said that he will turn up, to be honest. So thanks, Joel. You've done everyone a favour, and he might just get there. I disagree with the stick that he's got throughout the season, to be honest. Like, how many top-class horses run that often? And obviously, the Fighting Fifth was frozen off. He only needed one prep to come to the champion. The champion was only ever really the target. Entry's not an afterthought, but is a bonus if your horse is good enough to go and win. And they don't really need to go overseas. So I've never been bothered by his campaign. He's been unlucky with the weather once, and this is just really unfortunate illness-wise. So yeah, the most frustrating thing for me is that it's even less exciting, because if Constitution Hill was an easy winner on the bridle, it's still a good watch in my opinion, because he is such a good horse that you can just enjoy it. Whereas if State Man goes and wins on the bridle at 1-2, there's no value punting wise. Everybody still says, well, will he beat Constitution Hill? So it's an even worse champion hurdle if Constitution Hill doesn't go and State Man wins easily. So it's a bit of a shame, because it should be one of the best races of the week, and it's pretty crap at the moment.
All right, but the irony that it gets better and ends up in Ireland.
I saw someone tweet that, and it would make for a great end to the year if those two clashed in Ireland, because it would kind of just defeat all of the chat around, he's not brave enough to come over here, and we'd really get a measure of who is better if they raced in Ireland, because there'd be no excuses from anyone, and that would be a good race.
Oh, speaking of Ireland, did you see the bigger news in this? Forget this Constitution Hill stuff, that's all gone now. Did you see who's on the boat on the way coming over to England?
Tell us.
Gaelic Warrior. He's on the road.
He
He's on
is,
the road.
yeah. Do you know
Yeah.
what? We should talk about this Monday, shouldn't we? Really, we're turning into a road challenge show. But someone another tweet that I just thought I could get on board with. Let him rip over 2 miles. Just let him go as fast as he can.
Let him go. It's like a bull, isn't it? And the old rings inside Spain where you go and he's there and he's full of testosterone and just go. Keep jumping that way, all right?
2 miles as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Just so he'll wipe out the tented village, then the new stand, then all the punters in the old stand, all as he goes.
Oh, and also
down the high street.
The marquees down the back street.
And do you know what's going to happen? He's going to end up in the Betfred hospitality box where I've never been.
And there's a reason for that. Right. We're going to get into this weekend's racing. Before we do, because obviously Nicky Henderson's got lots of runners, although the big news is Constitution Hill, there is this bigger kind of concern about his stable form, which we kind of mentioned on Monday, which is kind of weird, it said. Let's look at the action then. We've got Kelso, 142. It's a big day. We'll look at the 142 then. It's a 2.5 mile handicap hurdle. And we've got a former triumph hurdler here, Pentland Hills, but again, trained by Nicky Henderson. Can we have any faith in his horses at present, looking at the stable form, Frankie?
I think you can. I'm not going to put up Pentland Hills, but he has had some horses run badly, but we have had testing ground as well, which it hasn't suited some of his horses.
Heavy.
They're not his best horses that are running. And I think Nicky Henderson is very much a trainer for getting the top class horses right for the top days. And you wouldn't see, 8-1 shots winning a class 4 handicap out of nowhere. That's not really his style, is it? So I'm not overly concerned with the stable form. It doesn't mean I'm putting up Pentland Hills, but I think there's a couple of Nicky Henderson horses, so at least one of them I'm keen on this weekend. This is a proper good race, isn't it? As the market suggests. I mean, most of them are 5-6-1 for the field. I am going to be optimistic about Jericho de Repene and side with Kaluki Kid, who was 4th in that race behind Jericho de Repene, behind Lump Sum, who ran really well next time out, and behind the Pauling Horse, who also ran well next time out. That was over 2 miles. They're 3 quick horses that did Kaluki Kid for a bit of a turn of foot. This is over 2.5. He's won over 2.5 previously. I think that although maybe Jericho de Repene didn't look that flash, I think all of those 3 horses I mentioned that finished in front of him are actually pretty decent, and Kaluki Kid can go and win this.
I agree, actually, because he still travelled really well in that race, didn't he? And I think he just got taken away from him. He has won over 2.5, being a horse that's won a decent contest since. Yeah, I'm with the Kaluki Kid in the opener as well. What about Joel?
Oh, no. The Kaluki Kid. It could be that material on the weekend. It was 10s. I think it's half in price now. And I put, it's all about the Jericho Repene form. And then we go back
When are you looking at these prices? On Monday?
Yeah, no. It's yesterday they came out. It was 10s, and then it was 11-2 this morning. I thought it was 5-1. I saw, and I made the notes. The Lump Sum won last weekend for the 2 Sams. Fiercely Proud was behind that again. Off 1-2-4, back up in trip. I think it ticks every single box there. And I was really surprised at the price. So, we go in nap-handed already.
Whoa. One of us, 3 of us all in the Kaluki Kid. Could be an excellent start. It could be a shocker. Let's move on.
Got to refuse.
Refuse to race. 217. It is the Premier Novices Hurdle. It's a grade 2. Good contest, this. Now, this is the real conundrum we just mentioned. Nicky Henderson. He's got a short price fate. He's a horse that obviously I quite like, Django Bayou's. A good second last time. We saw him, of course. That was behind handstands. Don't know if that race kind of worked out quite well. James Bowe went for that run that might not have been there. He is a grade 1 winner himself, but you're being asked to take under 2-1 a horse from 7 Barrows, Joel.
Yeah, I had it here, grade 1 winner, 3 runs, 2 wins. Should have been 3 wins. I like Django Bay. Now, if you're getting a price, now what price do we have to go in at? I mean, I thought this would have been 5-4, 6-4, something like that. So if we're getting 15-8, 2-1 or something like that, does that represent value? And after, 6 furlongs, he just stops as if shot and then pulled up. We're not getting value, are we? I'm putting Django Bay up because I think it's the best. Well, no, it's the best horse in the race by a shot. And because of the stable form, everything else I'm opposing is Nicky Henderson's this weekend. But I think this is the one. When Venetia was going through an awful run, I think it was a worst run for about 4 or 5 years or something like that. there was, I think, 2 good horses won during that time, and the rest were just awful. So, at Django Bay for me, I will go with, and I will stick with Hendo, unless there's any grass on the turf, and then obviously won't run.
Yeah, it's a similar conundrum, Frank, isn't it? And he is probably the best horse in the race. You might have bumped into one last time out. He's fancied for Cheltenham. I think James Bowen, he kind of got bumped on a bend in a 4-horse race, didn't he? Which kind of sent him back. But
painful.
You're being asked to take a short price when he's had all those horses that pulled up and obviously all the issues we know about in the week.
Yeah, take a chance on this, in my opinion, and then maybe let that sway your opinion elsewhere for his other runners. But this is the best horse in the race by a long way, in my opinion. The form of it's very impressive. Even his point-to-point, second behind No Flyers on him. He's a decent hurdler, finished behind Tully Hill last time out, and then beat Tally the Name. She's rated, I think, 135. Favour and Fortune will have a crack at the festival. He's a good horse that he beat at Aintree, and then just beaten by Handstands, who's probably the best English representative in the Ballymore. So his form is far better than anything else in this race, and I think you've got to take a chance at 15-8. It's a cracking price. He should go and win. And to be honest, the only reason that he's coming here probably, I mean, it's decent prize money at Kelso over the weekend, but the reason they'll be coming here is because Connections have Jinko Blue, who's a very similar horse, slightly better, and he'll go to the festival. So why run 2 very, very similar horses at Cheltenham when you could come here and potentially pick up the prize money with one of them? So yeah, I'm all over him. And if you get done for poor stable form, in my opinion, you just got to take your chance here.
Okay, interesting. Right, let's look at the Moor battle then. £120,000 up for grabs, plus 100 grand bonus if you can go on a win at the festival as well. Got Under Control. Let's talk about her this week. But again, it's that Nicky Henderson angle. Lots of last time out winners here. Also run up a sequence, Bingu, Rewired. Lots of other last time out winners. I'm quite keen on Black Hawk Eagle for reasons, obviously, regards our own horse, because he was third to him at Hereford last time out, and I'll talk about him shortly because he's also in action at the weekend. So I'm hoping for a really good run for Black Hawk Eagle to frank the Play to Getaway form, but this is a real, proper, decent Saturday handicap, Frankie.
It is, and I said you got to watch what Nick Henderson's Django Bay does, because I've been having a dip back into all the Cheltenham races this week, and looking at the mare's hurdle and going back for Astro Diamond's form, I quite fancy her. She's won graded mares races and placed in grade 1s against the boys. I think she's actually a top class horse, and Under Control to come second to her last time was a massive performance. So if I'm putting up Astro Diamond to win a grade 1 at Cheltenham, surely Under Control should be good enough to win a handicap at Kelso. She's at the top of the market, and she is another Henderson horse. So just trying to find another elsewhere. It's a bit of a gamble, but Darryl Jacobs, a positive booking for Salsada, trained by Brian Ellison, who's been off the track for over a year. So that's where the gamble comes, whether Salsada is going to be fit enough, but has some good back form. Was a 9-length 5th in the Scottish Champion Hurdle. Rubor won that off a 135. He's now rated, I think, top end 140s or mid 140s. Yeah, 148 he's rated. Colonel Mustard was in second. He continues to run well in top races. So I know that he's been off the track for a long time, but his mark's certainly fair. It just depends if he's fit. But the booking of Darryl Jacob gives me some positive that Salsada might be. So that'd be the each way play for me.
Okay, so Under Control and Salsada, 2 against the field. Playing a risky game, Joel. There's all this Nicky stuff.
Again, Under Control. If the Constitution Hill stuff hadn't come out, we hadn't seen pulled up in the last couple of weeks, I'd be all over this. Right colours. You say entered for this 120 grand plus the 100 grand if it wins at Cheltenham. It ticked all the boxes for me, but in what we now 15 runners or something like that. I mean, didn't out in mares race at Cheltenham last year, but look.
She's beat Iberico Lord.
Yeah, I know. This is what I mean. Now, if I'd have just come in, like I know nothing about South African racing or something, and I didn't know
off level weights.
Yes. If I knew nothing about that, and I was in South Africa, Serpentine, something like that, and I didn't know, about four, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll go with We won't get heavy ground at least. I'll go with Benson, who won this last year. Second was Colonel Mustard. Third was your horse that you found out about on your Sun Lounger in Bahrain or wherever you were. Yeah, that came third. Sandy Thompson, talking about trainers not informed. Sandy Thompson, 6 from 13 last couple of weeks. That's a 40% strike rate. And I'm looking out the window now across the centre of Liverpool on Friday lunchtime, and it's absolutely persisting it down. Hope it's the same in Scotland. More rain, please, for Benson. The more, the better. And if Under Control wins, I mean, what am I doing? Forecast.
Right, let's move on to the Premier Chase since the 7 goes to the post here, and obviously all eyes will be on Monbeg Genius. I assume coming here may rule him out of an ultimate bid, will it? I mean, it's been a while since we saw him in the Hennessy. I take it it's all about the national. Weights are out, win here and go there, isn't it, Joel?
My lay of the weekend, Monbeg Genius. And not just to wind Frankie up, because it was his first thing in the WhatsApp group this morning. Look, goes to Grand National. Probably won't be particularly fit here. It's not going to overexert itself. Not best Dorset race. And again, you'll probably look at me and say, what you're talking about, because he always finds one too good. And it's been running in veterans races, but I write, like we say every time, always find one too good. 3 wins at the track and 1's beaten by a head. I think he was only at the frame once in all the times he's been here. He'll just go from the front, as Gaelic Warrior should do at Cheltenham, if you're listening, Willie, or watching. And I thought I'd get a bit of a bigger price. I think this morning was 7-2, 3-1, something like that. But I'd be laying Monbeg Genius and having a play, quite a decent play to get them Cheltenham pennies in for I Write. Always finds one too good. The one he's got to find too good is Monbeg Genius, but ain't going to win. So therefore, it's a double bubble this weekend.
Ooh, he's lay. Brave. Frankie.
What do you think, Matt?
What do you think, Frankie?
No, you go first.
I don't know, because I can never get John Joe's runners right. They win when I.
Well, you've got the fan club here.
Well, why do you think I am?
Listen. This is my take. I mean, I don't know anything. I've been speaking to him this week, but more about our own play together way. But they've looked at this race, they've picked this race. He's missed engagements for non-racing reasons, but that third in the Coral Trophy, the Hennessy, the form's probably taken a little bit of a hit. But on that ultimate form last year, Corrick Rambler, fast or slow, the Goffer, I mean, he's got every chance, hasn't he? Absolutely every chance. And he's always been thought of as a national type. So looking at the others, I mean, Thunder Rock may be better in a smaller field. He's got that here, but obviously he needs to bounce back. I right, you say, always finds one too good. There's nothing with his profile and his improvement. I mean, we could be talking about a Grand National winner potentially here in against some of these types that find winning difficult. So he is the one with the most improvement. And if they gave me a choice, shut up. If you gave me a choice between 7-4 Monbeg Genius against 6 runners in a Premier Chase, or 7-4 Django Bay with doubts over the stable in a big field in the Premier Hurdle, there'd only be one way I'd be going, and it'd be with this fella.
Wow.
Sorry, I cut you off in your prime.
Go on, Joe.
No, I was fine. I was asking the fitness edge. Is he fit?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? And I don't know. There's 28 grand to the winner here. You can't just have a horse for one race all season when there's winnable races like this and prize money on offer. That's my thinking here.
Constitution Hill.
I was just about to say that. Literally 20 minutes ago, you just said the exact opposite about Constitution Hill.
No. Hang on a minute. Constitution Hill was trained to win 3 races and could still win 3 races this season. He's won one. Brilliant. Could go to Cheltenham. Could go to Entry. So he could have 3. He could win 3 races still. Actually, he could go to Entry and he could go to Punchestown. He could win 3 races still.
You're going to walk over at a minute.
I don't know. But the difference here is that there's no certainty of winning.
There's no difference.
National. It is a very different race than like a 4-runner 2-mile hurdle to trying to win a Grand National at the end of the year. And the weights are out, so why not come here and pick up 28 grand was my thinking. But Joel kind of alluded to the fact: do you just want to play it safe and not work him too hard? Potentially. If I was going to try and take him on, it'd be with Thunder Rock because he jumped like a fridge in 2.5 mile races. I wonder in a 3 miler, if they go slightly slower, will he be able to get into a bit of a rhythm and win this? Because he clearly has a massive engine. He jumped terribly last time behind Coral Green Rock in the big race up in Musselburgh that Lucinda Russell won both that weekend. I thought that was a really good performance. Ollie Murphy was actually watching it, stood in the middle of the track, and he was willing him over every fence. I think they might have quite fancied him to win that day, and he didn't jump, but going slower could have a chance.
Okay. There we go. Right, let's move on to Newbury then. Just 2 races, the Great Wood Gold Cup, but first we've got a Veterans Contest at 120. Where you go with this one? I'll start with Joel.
I'm going to break my rule again for twice in 2 days. If I've backed a Philip Hobbs horse in the last 25 years, slap me across the face. Yesterday I had, this is pocket talking. I had what I thought 3 good things to get you ready for Cheltenham. One was a Ben Pauling horse. One was some at Chelmsford last night, and the third leg was odds on in the morning. I think 1 to 2 with Hobbs and Michael Nolan, and the other one was a gambled on Paul Nicholls and Harry Cobden, and I was with like Hobbs and Nolan, and they got beat. I just over the years, I just thought all the horses look like they need to run or look like they're absolutely knackered, need to be put away. I just can't get him right. Nothing against the fella, because back in the day when I was a kid, he's there with Martin Pipe and Paul Nicholls is coming through. And I used to love, obviously, but I just, I have no idea now. But I'm massively, massively keen. And again, you're probably going to slap me because I put this 11-year-old in my tracker who hasn't really run a lot. JP's Musical Slave, and friend of the show last few years, even before Frankie joined on here. What's the big race? There's a big touch coming here. Last time out in Newbury, it's worth a look if you fancy this. Was 13 lengths beaten back in 4th. It was 20 to 1. It was a big price and was not touched by Sean Houlihan. He's a non-toucher that day. This time of year is definitely the time to get him. There's juice in this handicap, Mark. And Musical Slave, 11 years old, can do this, I believe, at the weekend. But it's the Hobbs and Michael Nolan thing that really put me off.
It's just quite a big part of it, the jockey and the trainer. Frankie.
A non-toucher for Joel. I'm going to go with Fortescue.
No, but you know what I mean? He just never got into it.
Yeah, fair enough. New to me, but yeah, Fortescue. I've been following his last couple of runs. He was, what was he? 4th, 3rd in the Welsh National, 4th in the Welsh National, 2nd in a staying handicap chase, and then underperformed last time out, but it was good ground. And 3 mile, maybe just a little bit too quick for him. But he's one of the few horses that's been running in decent handicaps, not just veteran handicaps. Cobden's booked, and when Henry Daly gets in a good bit of form, he's well worth following. He does hit some purple patches and firing a few winners. So Fortescue, I think, in a veterans chase where they're bound to go slower, over a little bit further, and on heavy ground that he's won on before, I'll be well with him. Actually, I might have a half decent bet in this. I fancy him.
Yeah, Harry Cobden and eye-catching booking as well, isn't he? Finish Williams had a timely win the other day, which kind of gives you a little bit more faith in Commodore, because she's had a real quiet spell, but he's well handicapped to strike. But massive price. I was going to have a little bit each one. Cyclop won the race last year. Effectively, he's off the same mark. All right, he pulled up in the Welsh National, pulled up in the Veterans Final. Well beaten last time at Plumpton. I'm not sure. I know he has won at Plumpton. I'm not sure that is kind of his track. But on that form behind Good Boy Bobby early on in the season, he's still clearly got ability. 20 to 1, but he'd be worth an each way interest. Old Cyclop, 3 places for me. Right, the Great Wood Gold Cup then. Again, 9 runners. Again, massively competitive. Again, I like one at a price. I'll come to that shortly. Can Do Kid, an interesting one for Paul Nicholls. Coming back in trip. Maybe didn't see out at Doncaster. He stopped quite quickly, Frankie.
Yeah, I wonder, has the handicapper just got a bit of a hold on me? He has won 1 or 2 races, hasn't he, this season? Maybe 1, and placed in a couple of others. He's actually been unlucky. He finished behind couple of good horses. J-Lo being one of them, Nickelback being another. So that's why I said he's potentially been unlucky, because his mark's gone up from 125 to now 140, and along the way has bumped into a few good rivals that if they weren't there, he probably would have gone and won. That's my worry with him. Is he just too high in the weights? He's got to carry 11 stone 5 on heavy ground. That's what put me off him. But I mean, he does have every chance. Grandor Dam, you'd think would be in with a shout. Unseated at the first last time at Cheltenham, but prior to that ran a half decent race, and Mark is going the other way, so only carries 10-12. But I'm going to have a little each way because I didn't really fancy too much in this. But Bill Baxter at a bit of a price. So we're all nodding. Here we go. I think can go well. Back to 135. That's just £2 ahead of his last winning mark of 133, which is 2 miles 5 round Aintree on soft ground. He's won on heavy ground over 1.5 miles. And last time at Cheltenham, made a few mistakes down the back straight, which I think just got him out of a rhythm and therefore didn't finish his race off that well. But the heavy going's a plus for him. His mark is well winnable off a 135, and he's an attractive double-figure price.
Joel?
Of the races this weekend, this is the one I spent most time on, and the race I had no interest in. You know those ones where you look at it and you go, so what am I even talking about? You know, what am I looking for here? And I spent the most time looking at it, and I got it down to 3. First of all, I was thinking about maybe doing the kiddie double this weekend with Kaluki Kids and Can Do Kid. And then I looked at Psycho as well with the stable change from Nichols to Harry Derham. Won on new stable debut at Ascot, then beaten a length at Exeter, unseated the first last time at Sandown. But then, for reason exactly what Frankie said, I came down to Bill Baxter, and at a double figure price, with a bit of juice in that handicap again. I said twice this weekend. Bill Baxter for me. And what about you? Are you
Bill Baxter?
Very much so. Yeah, I am.
Back in, Bill?
Just a couple of pound above his top and win. Won on this weekend last year at Kelso as well. Jumps well. I agree. Cheltenham may not be his track. I think he needs a flat track. Okay, when I probably didn't see it out, but yeah, I think he's got plenty back in his favour. Double figure price. Definitely.
Warren Greatrex was, and his wife was sat on my table for dinner on Monday night, but I didn't ask him about it.
Oh, brilliant! You know what? That's even worse.
Lovely people there. Well, I hadn't had a look at a Saturday.
No, like I said, that's
Monday afternoon.
It's even worse than me being at the Grand National Weights Lunch with everybody there. It was a bit, and on a couple of wines and a couple of whiskies or whatever, and you can ask them anything. They're a bit loose. Now, they told me everything, but I forgot it because I had a couple of looseners. You were sitting there opposite Warren Greatrex. You could have just gone, are we off Saturday there, was it?
Oh, come on. Who knew Bill Baxter was running in this on Monday afternoon? Not me.
Yeah, interesting then. So we're all on the Kaluki Kid. We're all on the Bill Baxter. Nice. Right.
We just need one more in the last. Come on.
Oh,
right.
mate, I'm going nap. This is nap week. This is nap.
Go on then, take it away. The Grimthorpe at Doncaster 340. Give us your nap.
Okay, let's see if you can guess it. If Langadan had a partner in crime, and they're the Cray brothers, the Cray twins, who would it be in this race?
Please don't tell
Ashtown
me.
Lad.
What?
It's got to be Ashtown Lad.
No.
Huh?
No.
Now you've thrown me off.
Come on. Has won this race in 2022.
No, that's under supervision.
Yeah, second by a head in 2023. Ever since, it's been pulled up, it's been a wrong distance, it's been running over wrong trip, ground, whatever. Comes here, and break off. STD, off you go. Under supervision, nap of the weekend.
I fancy it too.
Yeah. Oh my God! Are we on for the treble?
We're on for the each way Trixie. They're all nice prices as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, we are.
No way!
Yes, we are.
What a way to build the Cheltenham bank. Here we go.
Get it on the bet. What's it pay? What's
I'll get it up. Matt can talk. I'll get it up.
Right. So my thinking here, you're right. All right. 3 pulled up his last 4 starts, but the third at Cheltenham looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
Respectfully. You mentioned the form. A winner 2 years ago, second last year. He's only a couple of pound high. Interesting stat on this race. Just one win in the last decade has carried more than 11 stone. So I've ruled out the top 5 in the market. under supervision sneaks in, £1 under at 10 stone 13. Very nice. Yeah, ticks in the right boxes. The Kaluki kid, not to be mixed with the Can-Do kid. Bill Baxter, under supervision.
The Kaluki kid, where's he? Kelso, 140.
Yeah, 142.
Tenner each way fun treble. And then
Here we go. We want a Trixie, an each way Trixie.
Yeah, we want the big payday as well.
£2.50 each way Trixie, so 20 quid on.
Yeah, what's
Pays
that?
1.2
million.
That's what I say, yeah.
Okay. And
Thousands.
what's the tenner Acker pay? Just the treble each way. Tenner each way, just to be safe.
A tenner each way.
About 460 to 1 the treble.
There you go.
Hey, right, if we don't put it on, if
They're
you're
all
not
losers.
quid on that, if you're not even having a quid on it now.
Yeah, we're doing it. Well, the thing is now, do we extend it to a lucky 15
Oh,
for Yankee?
What we're putting
Monbeg Junior.
we're putting I right in.
And throw play to get away in it.
Oh,
yeah. Right, you tell us about the horse then, because it's again it's Betfred's charity horse.
Yeah, so look, we're really hopeful tomorrow. So there's plenty of horses in there with chances, but the horses that have got a few questions to ask. Look, we know he's fit. We're slightly worried about the rain. It's interesting to see how much rain they get at Doncaster, but we still think there's improvement to come. We still think there's movement in his mark. We have got a target in mind later on in the month as well, so we'd like to get a win into him to make sure he gets into that contest. And yeah, I think we're really hopeful he's going to go close tomorrow. So we are a little bit worried about the ground. We've been waiting for decent ground, which is why he's not been out for a couple of weeks. It was a really nice run at Hereford Blue, where the cobwebs after 7 months off. It looks good form, especially if Black Hawk Eagle goes close at Kelso tomorrow as well. He's running obviously in a grade 2. So yeah, we're really, really looking forward to running him this weekend. And we are really, really hopeful he's going to go very close.
Are you backing him?
the Yankee.
He
will be backed by me. Yes, got to. I'm going to go watch him anyway. So
I think one of the times he ran, you went, go on, well, back him today. I think so. We all got on in the morning at 5s. He drifted to 7s. So that's the benefit of working for one of the biggest bookies in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he didn't get best odds either. So yeah, we're really hopeful tomorrow. But no, we'll stick with the Trixie. We'll play up all the winnings because he's the last race at Doncaster. So, but we do need a nap. I am going to go to get away. I am napping him. I am more than hopeful tomorrow. So yeah, 450 Doncaster. He will be carrying an extra few quid, an extra few pounds on his back, courtesy of my nap. Are you boys?
Does he go quicker with the application of cash?
Hope so.
Here's your naps.
Go on, Joel.
Well, I just said, didn't I? Under supervision.
About
40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Under supervision, 340. Donny.
I might as well round it off then with the Kaluki kid, the first horse we spoke about that we're all keen on. Good form behind lump sum, back to 2.5. Hopefully goes in.
Superb. Brilliant. We're all agreeing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, right. Do you know what? You said we first looked at this. I looked at it and I was like, nothing excited me about the weekend. And the more and more...
Now I'm excited.
Now I'm excited. Hey, we're not going to Cheltenham. We're going Barbados.
Woohoo! Right. How excited are you for Monday?
What's happening Monday?
Very excited. I've been doing my homework. Been doing my homework all week. I've got a few prices as well, actually, in some of the championship races. Moved off, well, not moved off a few favourites, but yeah, in the Arkle, that looks wide open. A nice price in there, maybe.
Gaelic Warrior.
Yeah.
No.
Well, on Monday, it's our final Road to Cheltenham show before the festival itself. We're going to record it. We're going to be all together, recording it in the studio. Probably take about an hour to go through absolutely everything. So make sure you join us, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, whatever you need to do. Make sure you join us on Monday for our, I think it's the 14th and final Road to Cheltenham episode. We wrap everything up, get these boys best bets of the entire festival. So make sure you join us then. And hopefully we're quids in as well with our little Trixie this weekend. Right, cheers for joining us, boys. Make sure you join us Monday. Hopefully we will see you then.